A young woman is dead, found in the private residence of a serving federal minister. And now, the calls for a coroner's inquest are reaching a fever pitch across the nation. But what truly happened behind those closed doors at David Umahi's home? Is this a tragic accident, or are we witnessing the beginning of a cover-up that goes to the very top of Nigeria's political establishment? This is not just another headline, it is a developing situation that has forced human rights activists and political parties to demand a truth that the authorities might prefer to stay buried. The death of Mary Habila has sent shockwaves through the Nigerian public and the diaspora. It is a story that touches on the most sensitive nerves in our society, the vulnerability of citizens, the immense power of government officials, and the persistent, nagging question of whether true justice exists for everyone or just for those in high places. But what happened next is why everyone is talking and why activists are refusing to let this case go quiet. The story begins with a statement that has grabbed the attention of the media and the public alike. Human rights activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore has officially stepped into the fray, calling for an independent coroner's inquest into the passing of Mary Habila. She reportedly died while at the residence of the Minister of Works, David Umahi. The official details surrounding her death remain frustratingly thin. However, the optics and the specific details leaking out are deeply alarming. Sowore, in a public statement released on his verified social media handles, has pointed to reports suggesting that Habila was discovered with blood flowing from her mouth. For any investigator or any concerned citizen, that is a red flag that screams unnatural cause. Sowore is not just asking for a look, he is demanding a rigorous forensic process. He is insisting that no burial should take place until full forensic procedures, including a formal autopsy and any other relevant legal inquiries, are completed. He is warning authorities against any attempt to rush her body to the grave, a common tactic, he implies, to hide the truth before an investigation can even begin. But Sowore went a step further, broadening the scope of this conversation to include the minister's track record. He specifically referenced past unsolved allegations involving Minister David Umahi, notably the deaths of 5 Nilan engineers. He claims these deaths remain unresolved to this day, and by bringing this up, he is highlighting a pattern he argues the public can no longer afford to ignore. He is framing this latest tragedy not as an isolated incident, but as part of a larger systemic problem of accountability. The pressure didn't stop with Sowore. The African Democratic Congress, or the ADC, has now joined the growing chorus of voices demanding answers. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, issued a sharp, unequivocal statement calling on the minister to step aside while an independent investigation takes place. The ADC is making it very clear where they stand. They want this probe conducted entirely outside the influence of the ruling party or the federal government. They are essentially saying that if the government investigates itself, the public will never trust the result. They are demanding a full, independent autopsy and, crucially, the public release of the findings. They argue that this level of transparency is the only way to restore a shred of public confidence in a system that many feel is broken. For Nigerians, both at home and those watching from the US, UK, and Canada, this case hits a raw nerve. We are seeing a conversation sparked about the safety of individuals who find themselves in the orbit of the powerful. Whether you are a civil servant, an aide, or a guest, there is an expectation of security. When that is breached, when a life is lost, the silence that often follows from official quarters is what hurts the most. Think about the stakes here. In any functional democracy, the residence of a high-ranking official like the Minister of Works should be one of the most secure places in the country. If someone dies there, the immediate reaction should be a transparent, rapid, and thorough disclosure of the facts. When that doesn't happen, the rumor mill starts to grind, and when rumors fill the void, the government loses legitimacy. Many in the diaspora are particularly vocal on this, using social media to keep the pressure on. They are asking, if this had happened in the UK or the US, would the police have cleared the scene within hours, or would there be a full-scale inquiry? That comparison is what is driving the intensity of this story. It is a demand for a global standard of accountability in Nigeria. Sowore's involvement brings an element of grassroots activism that this case desperately needed. He is an agitator, yes, but he is also a figure who forces the establishment to respond. By linking Mary Habila's death to the unsolved deaths of the Nilan engineers, he is building a narrative that suggests this isn't just about one woman, it's about a culture of impunity. He is challenging the minister to prove that he has nothing to hide by supporting an independent forensic-led probe. The ball is now firmly in the court of the authorities. Will there be a coroner's inquest? Will the minister step aside to allow for an impartial investigation? Or will this case be buried under layers of bureaucracy, leaving the family of Mary Habila without answers? This is the question that defines the current moment. We need to watch how the Ministry of Works responds. We need to watch how the police handle the autopsy request. And we need to watch if the ruling party feels enough pressure to actually act. When a citizen dies in a government official's home, the public has a fundamental right to know the truth. Without a transparent process, the shadow of doubt will only continue to grow. This is not about politics for the sake of politics. It is about the sanctity of life and the fundamental requirement that those in power must be held to account, regardless of their position. What do you think? Should the minister step aside to allow for an impartial investigation, or do you believe these demands are politically motivated? Do you trust that a transparent investigation is even possible in the current climate? The conversation is happening now, and your perspective is part of it. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. We want to hear from you. Are we asking for too much, or is this the bare minimum of what a government owes its people? If you found this update important, please hit that like button. It helps us get this information out to more people who are searching for the truth. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We are going to be tracking this story every single day. We won't stop covering this until the facts are laid bare. Thank you for watching, and stay vigilant.